Hello and welcome to another episode of this knitting podcast, which for the next few weeks will be a knitting and crochet podcast because I've just started a new crochet project. Still haven't quite decided on the colours I'm going to use. More about that in a minute. I have two projects which are so close to being finished. One of them is probably 99% finished, and the other one about 97% finished, and I'm so annoyed I didn't get them finished in time. One of them I could have gotten done, but I'd left it up here and completely forgot about it. I popped in here last night before I went to bed, and I was just too tired to do anything about it. It's just been a really busy week, so I've been struggling to get things done that I wanted to do. I also need to cast on a new project for weekend activities. So we'll talk about that. And then we've had a bit of a disaster. Not a proper disaster. Nobody's dead. Nobody's seriously injured, so it's not a real disaster. But one of my sweaters has suffered a serious injury, and I'm not sure that it's going to be a fatal injury or not yet. We'll discuss it in a minute. I haven't actually looked at it properly. I was so upset when I found it on Monday that I haven't looked at it properly yet. So we'll have a look at that and see whether I can actually fix it or not. I'm hoping I can. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website, YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So we have a 4,000 subscriber giveaway going on at the moment. If you watched last week, you'll know. You can enter until the 15th on last week's video, this video, and I guess also next week's video, because 15th is Friday next Sunday. Yeah, so next Friday's video as well. You can enter on last week's podcast, this today, and next Friday's podcast. You do have to answer a question. So last week I asked you questions about online courses and live classes and things like that. I've read through a lot of them. I haven't answered all of them yet because I'm just really behind with everything at the moment. But I will get around to answering. But it was really useful to know. So if you've got any comments about whether you prefer online courses that are pre-recorded and you can just start them whenever you want and work through them in your own time, or whether you prefer live classes via Zoom, so it would be like probably 2 to 3 hours at a time. I might do some courses that go over 2 or 3 weeks, or just some individual lessons. Let me know if you'd be interested in that and what kind of topics you'd be interested in. And if you comment about that, then I will enter you into the 4,000 subscriber draw. Also, let me know if you like crochet. Do you crochet? Do you know how to crochet? Do you want to learn how to crochet? Let me know, because I'm quite enjoying a bit of crochet at the moment. If you're wondering why my eyes are a bit red, I actually have a eye infection. I had tear duct plugs, I think they're called punctal plugs, inserted into my tear ducts in April at the local eye hospital because I suffer from very dry eyes, and that does increase the risk of infections. And on Monday, my left eye was very, very dry and a bit sore, and then Tuesday morning it was a tiny bit red on one side, and then Tuesday evening it was very red, and yesterday morning I called the doctor. So I'm now on antibiotic eye drops, but they are a bit red still, and I think it has spread to this eye as well, which it normally does. And I know you should not wear eye makeup when you have an eye infection, and yesterday I didn't, because it was only yesterday morning that I realised it was actually a conjunctivitis, most likely. So I didn't put on eye makeup yesterday, and I hate not wearing eye makeup. So I have a couple of old eyeliners that I can actually sharpen with a pencil sharpener. So I've used that today, and then I've sharpened it afterwards. So I take off the layer that has touched my eyes, and I did my good eye and then my bad eye. And I haven't used mascara because I don't want to throw that one away. But yeah, you've got to be very careful using eye makeup if you have an eye infection. Anyway, I'm also filming on my old phone today, so if the colours and things look different, that's why. Struggling with my new phone with the amount of memory. But all my Samsung phones for the last, I don't know how many years, I've been able to add an SD card. And when I looked to upgrade my phone, I wanted to stick to Samsung because I really like Samsung phones and I've had them for a long time. But you can't add an SD card to most of them anymore. And filming, I've been struggling a bit lately. By the time I have filmed the video and edited it, when I come to save the edited version, because it saves it as a new video, which I edit on my phone because it's so much easier, I'm sometimes struggling a bit with space. So I've decided to record the longer videos like the podcast on my old phone, because then I don't have to worry about the space on my new phone. So if it looks different, that's why. But my new phone camera or the video recording is a lot better, but I thought for just recording the podcast sitting here, this is fine. I'm also using my mic on my old phone, which I haven't done before, but I've checked that the sound seems to be okay. So fingers crossed. I have a special offer for you from Simply Knitting magazine. It's a magazine I've been reading since I got back into knitting over 20 years ago, and I also contribute to it. I'm working on the design for them at the moment, actually, which I've got to post next week. But you can get really good subscription offer. So they have good selection of all-round magazines, men, women, children, homeware, toys, novelty items, all kinds of stuff, and they're a good range of difficulty level, easier to slightly more intermediate, I would say. And you normally get like a knitting gift or pattern booklet with every issue as well. So you can get it delivered straight to your door with this subscription offer at a really good price. You get 6 issues for £16, followed by $34.99 every 6 issues thereafter. This offer is valid until 5th of July, and you need to use my unique link below in the show notes to take advantage of this offer. It's only for UK subscribers, unfortunately. If you live outside the UK and you would be interested in this kind of subscription offer, let me know and I'll tell the team at Simply Knitting. But I am being paid a commission for every subscription taken out using my unique link. So you get 6 issues for £16, followed by $34.99 every 6 issues thereafter. Offer ends the 5th of July. So let's start with the nearly finished projects. This one I'm really annoyed I didn't finish, because all I need to do is sew on the buttons, and I picked out the buttons yesterday. I can't find my main button box. I used to have them all in one big box, which is actually, I put my ring light on it, so when I want to get into that box I have to move my ring light and everything, and there's like a few boxes stacked on top of each other, and that's where I normally keep my main button box, and it's not there and I can't find it, but there were some other random buttons in there. So I had this thing from skybluepinkdesigns.com. I don't know whether they are still around. It's a Scottish company. I have no idea where I bought this. I guess would be maybe like Yarndale, or maybe it's even back to Woolfest days. I have no idea. Or maybe I bought it when I went to Edinburgh Yarn Fest. That's a long time ago. I don't know, but I bought it somewhere, at a show somewhere, I think. And these buttons are quite pretty, so I decided to go for those because I need 4. And this is my poinsettia cushion. So it is finished. I just need to attach the buttons. So I used Yatagara Merino cotton. I think these are blue jeans. This is the blue jeans colorway, I think, and this is the light blue colorway. I decided to do a different color on each side because I needed 2 balls anyway. So I thought this, so I can showcase 2 different colors. I love that color. Obviously, because it's lacy, you can see the cushion through it. I went for a smaller needle size than what I normally would have used for lace for a DK yarn, so it wouldn't be too open. But obviously, you can see the cushion through it. So you could also play. I don't know whether you can get different colored cushions. If you are good at sewing, I guess you could sew your own cushion cover and get something that contrasts and shows through the lace holes. I don't know. I think it's 2 years ago I designed this blanket with an advent from YarnAddict from Botanical Yarns. The Yarn Advent, I think, is from 2022, and I released this pattern in autumn of 2023. So this is my poinsettia blanket, which is knitted. You knit the squares individually. Each square is a 20-gram mini 4-ply fingering weight sock yarn, and I decided to use that same stitch pattern to make this cushion. So the front and the back is knitted separately. You start in the center with a closed circular cast on. There will be a link to tutorials in the pattern, and then you knit around, and then you do a 3 needle cast off all the way around the 3 sides. There's be a tutorial for that in the pattern as well. Then you knit the garter stitch button band in the round, and work 1 row of buttonholes, which you can just about see there, and then you attach the buttons and stuff the cushion inside it. So it's 30 by 30 centimeters. So it's not too big. You can easily make it bigger, but just keep going, but you need more yarn. I wanted to use one ball of each yarn. I used the YarnAddict Merino Cotton. I think I said that. So this pattern will be out some point this summer. I worked on the pattern a lot yesterday, so I need to, on probably Monday or Tuesday, I need to read through the pattern again and just check that it's ready to send to my tech editor, and then it will depend on her schedule. So it's not a rush thing, because I have 2 other patterns, I think, that are ready to be published. So there's no rush to get this one out from my point of view. Hopefully it might be out in July, maybe August. And I probably will also add that as an option for my workshop list, because I'm trying to work on some new workshops at the moment. Poinsettia pattern, blanket pattern, is on Ravelry and Payhip, and I will link that below if I remember. But if not, just go to my Ravelry or Payhip shops. They're always linked below. I'm just popping in after I finished editing this video, so I can add this before I export the video. I managed to finish this while I was doing the editing. I have sewn on the buttons, and I'm really happy with them. They go quite nicely. I'm glad I put them on that side, because I think they go better with the lighter blue than the darker blue. But I'm really happy with it. I like this kind of button band. Let me know what sort of fastening you like on buttons, or cushions rather. What kind of fastenings do you like on cushions? Somebody suggested last week that I put a zip in. I have never put zips into knitting. I've only done it on sewing a few times many years ago, so I haven't done zip for a long time, and I'm not doing it. I'm not brave enough to try that. But that's what it looks like, so I'm very pleased that that is finished, and I can go and finish the pattern next week, get some photos and send it off to my tech editor. And also, I'll put this here as well, while I was editing, I spotted that my workshops at Black Sheep Wools at the end of June. I'm teaching Mosaic workshop on 27th of June, so about 3 weeks time I think it is. Mosaic knitting, Mosaic colour work. We're going to be working on this scarf, what do I call this? Bergen scarf. I'm not going to put it on because I'm wearing the mic, but I'll put a picture up here, and you can choose between that and a pair of Mosaic hand warmers. Black Sheep Wools in Warrington in Cheshire on 27th of June. The workshop includes some materials as well. I've noticed that there's one spot available at the moment, so I'll put the link in the show notes below. We will be launching some more workshops for Black Sheep Wool for the autumn as well, so that's coming soon. But at the moment, there is one space available on that Mosaic workshop. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go and grab it. And if it's already gone, or you can't do June, then make sure you get on my mailing list and follow me and Black Sheep Wools on social media, so you can see when we launch the next lot of workshops for the autumn. I have been on a bit of a cushion thing lately, because I have another cushion that is just about finished. This one I have a little bit more I need to do. So these cushions are start at the bottom. You just do a regular cast on and knit in the round. I tried doing a close cast on, but with so many stitches I found it really fiddly, so I didn't do that, and I didn't fancy doing a provisional cast on so I could graft it or knit it together. So I've done a regular cast on at the bottom, knit in the round, and then stitched this up. And all week I've been thinking I must film a tutorial for how I sew this up, and I haven't gone around to it. And yesterday I started sewing this up, because you can see it curls quite a lot. It's really difficult to measure it. And this one, I think I may have knitted too long. I may have to take out half a repeat. I'm going to try and block it, because it's a little bit narrower than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to block it and see how it works out. And I may have to take off the button band, which I knitted last night, and take out one repeat, which I'm a bit annoyed at, but never mind. If I had done the sewed up the bottom earlier so I could measure it easier, I may have noticed it, but according to my calculations I should have needed to do 7 repeats, and I've done 6.5, because I thought it's looking longer than it is wide. It should be a square minus a button band. The colour work should be a square, and it is If I fold it like that, oh yeah, it is just about a square, I guess. Yeah, that's the easiest way, I think, to work out this. Yeah, probably not too bad. I wanted it to be the same size as my Love House cushion. I'm using the same yarn, the same needles, the same stitch count, but this is coming out, I think, just a tiny bit narrower. So we'll see what it's like when I blocked it. This one stretched a bit when I blocked it, but the difference is that this one has certain areas where you have quite a few stitches in one color. On this one, you never have more than 3 stitches in one color. So the pattern, all the stitches are either you float past 1 stitch, 2 stitches, or 3 stitches, no more than 3 stitches, which is quite typical for Farewell patterns. This one is more Scandinavian style, Norwegian style color work, I would say, where it has some areas where you have more stitches in one color, like 7, 9, can't remember, and that does make it a bit looser. But this pattern, I think, is ready to be released, so I just need to get organized. This scarf is also ready to be released, so I don't know which one I'm going to do first. I might do the cushion first, actually. So I need to finish sewing this up, and I'm going to record that as a tutorial, hopefully today if I get time, and then block it, see where we are size wise, and then I need to sew on the buttons. I have decided on buttons. I'm hoping these will work because they've got a bit of purple on them. Let's see, but I'm a bit worried they're a bit too small for the buttonholes. Oh no, they work fine. Let's just pop them through some of the buttonholes. Yeah, they work fine. There was one buttonhole that I think I accidentally did 1 stitch less because it's a bit tight, but this one will fit through. I think all my buttonholes ended up either casting off 1 stitch too little or casting on 1 stitch too little, because when I went back to doing the rib on the round after the buttonhole, my stitch count wasn't right, so I just fudged it because I couldn't be bothered to go back and redo the buttonhole round. If it was the last buttonhole, so I would have just had to undo half a round and rework that buttonhole. No, a whole round. And I couldn't bother to do it because I just wanted to finish this last night so I could start on something else. So this one is nearly finished, but I might try and finish it today. It may be over the weekend sometime, we'll see. Then let's talk about my socks. So I haven't actually worked on my socks this week, I don't think, because it didn't go out at all over the weekend, I don't think. Went to spin class, and I think that was about it. So I haven't done any more work on this, but we are going away for a couple of days soon, so I'm hoping to finish this. I did work on this a bit last weekend because that was last weekend. Last Saturday, last Saturday, we drove up to a National Trust property south of Bristol. I think it was kind of near Weston-super-Mare area. What was it called? Was it Fine Castle? Fine, something like that. I can't remember. There wasn't actually a house to go in there, I don't think. We had the dog with us, so we couldn't go in anyway. But we met our oldest daughter there because the girls have had our dog in Wales with them while we were in Norway, and she needed to return him because we wanted him back. And she's dog sitting a friend's dog most of this month, so she needed to get rid of Alfie because he doesn't like other dogs, and the dog she's dog sitting does also not like other dogs. So we decided to meet halfway, 2 hours drive for us and about 2 hours for my daughters. So we had went for a walk around, then went to the coffee shop, and I got my knitting out. And because most of this is done in a garter rib, so every other round is knit to purl to rib, and every other round is just a knit round. So between the purl columns you get garter stitch, and then where that marker is, I started doing just a 2x2 rib because that's the top of the sock. So when I picked it up in this coffee shop last Saturday, I started knitting garter rib, and I'd done probably like these 5 rounds, maybe close to 10 rounds, and I looked at it and I thought, what's that marker there for? That marker there at the start of the regular rib. And I looked and I went, oh, I'm supposed to do rib, not garter rib. So I had to unpick that. And then I didn't work on this on the way home in the car. I think I probably worked on that lace cushion, the poinsettia cushion in the car. I can't remember, but I had to rip back what I did. So I did do some of this, but then ripped it back. But we got a long drive coming up. We're going to Bath next week for one night stay. So I should hopefully be able to finish this in the car to Bath. I'd like to finish the rib, do the heel, and then cast them for the second sock. So when we're in Bath, we're going to a theatre to see something called Ostentatious, improv, Jane Austen type thing. So they're in Bath. So we're going to go and see it, which I'm quite excited about. So I think I will take this with me to the theatre if I can start the second sock. I don't want to be casting off at the top or doing the heel or anything like that in the theatre, because you need to be able to see it a bit more. And then we're also maybe going to the cinema this weekend, because we want to see the final Mission Impossible. I am thinking about casting on a new sock for the cinema. So I'm not sure what to do, but I pulled out 2 sock yarns that I'm thinking about trying, because these have been in my stash for a little bit now. They're Cheap and Cheerful sock yarns. Definitely got that one at Spinner Yarn in Bobby Tracy. May have got that one there as well, I can't remember. But this is Stylecraft Head Over Heels Walking in Nature, and I just want to see what it was like. It's designed by Stuart Hillard, I think it is. So I wanted to try that, but then I also pulled out this because this is quite a pretty colorway. This is James C. Brett Funny Feets with a Z, and it has bamboo in it. So it is 50% superwash wool, 25% polyamide, 25% bamboo, and it's really soft. So I fancy trying that. So I haven't decided quite which one of these I'm going to try yet. Maybe I'll go with that one. This one's really soft, and I do like these colours. Let's go with that one. Decision made about one thing today. Let's talk about my crochet project that I'm casting on. So remember last week I was talking about that I fancied knitting a new sweater, and I was talking about the pink, green, purple one that I knitted last summer in Cyberball cotton. And I pulled out this yarn and said I really fancy knitting it in this yarn. And I have that yarn on my desk from last week, and I've decided not to. So crochet is really popular at the moment. You see loads of crochet clothes and accessories in stores at the moment. Some of them, when you actually look at them, they're not actually crochet. Some of them are knitted, and some of them are some kind of sewing. I'm not quite sure what, but it's not crochet. If you look at it up close, you can tell it's not crochet. And I will not buy crocheted items in normal high street shops. But I really fancy crocheting something, so I have decided that my next garment will be a crochet garment. Now, I also said last week that I am waiting for some yarn for a deadline for July. It's middle of July, but I'm going to Norway on the 9th of July, so I need to finish it before I go to Norway. That yarn is due to arrive tomorrow. So as soon as the yarn arrives, I need to swatch for that and get the pattern written up next week and start that. But once I finish this colorwork cushion, I don't have anything apart from the socks on the needles. I was going to do this pattern in a cow, and I may still do that, but I don't think I want to do it right now. I also have 2 bags I need to make. One is I'm not going to pull it out. I think I showed it last week. It was one I knitted last December with the YarnAddict from the Discreet Unicorn, and I want to re-knit it in a different color, so it's available also in a non-advent version. People can see what it looks like in a non-advent version. And I also need to double check the pattern a bit, because I knitted it in December last year, and then I only just finished it before I had to rush up to Norway at the end of December when my mum broke her hip. So, and then I didn't look at it again till end of January. So I want to kind of knit again just to check a few things in the pattern. And also I'm not sure how much of the main yarn I use and things like that. So I need to re-knit it basically. And then I also want to do something with the rest of that advent, because I had 20 grams of each color and I only used max 5 grams of each color. So I want to do something with that. So I was thinking about using that for this crochet thing. Then I also have another yarn advent from last year, and I cannot remember who the maker is, company. But it's really nice. It's also rainbow, and I was thinking about using that, but I'm wondering whether it's going to be a bit too bright. So I decided to go with Yarn Organic Trio. But so if you remember, I used this for a sweater last year, which I thought would be like a lightweight summer sweater. It's lacy, but it's not very lacy. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll show you that sweater in a minute. But this yarn has 50% organic merino, 25% organic cotton, and 25% silk. So I thought if I use this to make a very lacy open garment, then it might be, I don't have very many sweaters, are very lightweight. Some days like today when I'm wearing a t-shirt, when I sit down in the afternoon to knit, it can be a bit chilly, or if I'm popping out, it's actually raining today, so I wouldn't wear a sweater anyway, I wear a jacket, but sometimes I just need something light to put on. I don't have that many sweaters like that. Most of them are a bit warmer. They're fine in the winter, but they're a bit too warm in the summer. And I really fancy lightweight, open, airy, lacy crochet sweater that I can just throw on. And I did think about using the other yarn advent for that, but that will make it very bright because it's a rainbow advent. So I decided to go for this yarn instead. So this was my original swatch. I found the stitch pattern somewhere. I had it saved as a diagram on my phone. But on this one, the chart I found showing the stitch pattern didn't really show you the edges. So it's fine on that side, but it's a little bit weird on that side. So I wasn't happy with that, but it's worked. Actually, it's worked that direction. So it's worked that way. So I would be working this garment top down. So it would be look that way on me. But I really like this. I used 3.75mm hook, and I thought maybe this is a bit too open. So I then swatched it again and actually drew out the diagram myself and changed a couple of things and made sure I was happy with the sides. And then I crocheted again and I made this, and this is on 3.5mm hook. So I think I'm going to go with this. I've started with this because I've started it, but then I thought, what colour am I going to use? So this is a yarn I stock in my online shop. So I came upstairs yesterday and had a look at what I actually had. And I really fancy, so I've already knitted a garment in that, so I don't want to use that. The only colour I have enough of for the whole garment is this grey one. I quite like that, and it'd be quite nice and neutral in my wardrobe. I kind of fancy something a bit more colourful for summer. I quite fancy this one, but I think I need 9 balls, and I have 5. I have 3, nearly 4 of this. I have 4 minus what I use for these 2 swatches. And I think I have 4 or 5 of that one. And I also have a few of a green colour, but not only like a couple of balls, I think. So I buy these wholesales. I can get them wholesale, but I think my wholesaler doesn't normally have them in stock. I think he normally orders them from Denmark when I order. So I thought I can email him and see if he happens to have a pack of these. I did look online. I did find a shop that had them. And I thought I could just order 4, but they wouldn't be the same dye lot anyway. Or I could order 9. As I can get this wholesale, it feels like a waste of time paying retail for it. So I might email my supplier today and say, have you got 1 pack of this? But I just want 1 pack at the moment. So don't order it from Denmark, but if you have one in stock. Or what I might do is actually use 2 colours. So what I was thinking was each kind of repeat is 2 rows. So what I was thinking is doing 2 repeats in one colour, 2 repeats in the other colour. I'm not sure about that. So I was thinking, I've actually started. So I was thinking maybe these 2, because I like those together, but I also really like these 2 together. I think I've decided to go for these 2 together. I am still thinking I was going to email my supplier last night, and then I decided not to. But I might actually email him after this and say, do you have a pack or any of these at all? I don't want to place like a big yarn order now because I'm going to be away for half of July, and I don't sell a lot of yarn in the summer. So I don't really want to order anything till September for Yarndale. But I really just need 4 of these, and I could buy retail. It only cost me £20. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just order 4 of these retail. Even though it won't be the same dye lot, but I can fudge them. Depending on how different they are, I can probably get around that. But so that's what I've decided to do. I'm going to do it top down, but I'm going to do it back and forth. So I'm going to start with the back and do it top down till the underarms. And I'm going to do the sleeves and the back in one. So it's going to be like dolman. So I've cast them for the whole length from about there. So I don't want it quite to my wrist. I want it just a little bit shorter. Any but from there to there, I'm happy with, kind of thing. So it's quite a wide piece. So if I worked out this correctly, I haven't done a crochet garment for years. I am doing casting on for the whole. Is it called cast on when it's crochet? Hooking on? I don't know. Anyway, I hate doing chains for the start a crochet piece. I just really struggle to crochet into the chain. Either the chain's too tight and I can't get my hook into to crochet into it and it's really tight, or it's too loose and it just looks messy. And it's a nightmare to count and everything. So I normally do foundation stitches. I think this is a foundation double in English terms, but I'm not 100% sure. No, it might be a foundation treble, actually. I'm not sure, but I learned it from a book many, many years ago when I was a bit more into crochet. And I did it on something last year. I can't remember what. Must have been my, last year, the year before, must have been my granny stripes blanket, leftover sock yarn one that I did. And I was sitting, not last night, the night before, to crochet this swatch, and I was trying to remember how to do it. We were watching something on telly, so I couldn't look it up on my phone, on my on YouTube, how to do it. So I just played around with it, and I think I remember how to do it. So I started last night, and I have to do, I think, 275 foundation stitches. So I'm, to save my sanity, I am putting a marker every 10 stitches. So I've done 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, nearly 120. And then I also put a stitch marker in the last stitch so it wouldn't unravel. If you're worried about crochet, because the thing I don't like about crochet is that when you stop, you only have that one loop and it can easily unravel while it's in your bag. So if you just put one of these stitch markers, bulb stitch markers in it, then it will not unravel. So I quite often do that. So I'm nearly halfway through the foundation row, so I'm hoping to finish that today. And now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I think instead of going for stripes, I think I'm leaning more into see if I can get 4 of these and maybe just order them retail. It's only going to be £20 plus postage, so about £25, which isn't bad. Or I could email my supplier and see if he happens to have a pack in stock. I don't know what to do. Anyway, I'm hoping to work more on this today. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking I need a sweater to wear because I was doing something. And I thought, I want to wear this sweater. I want to see whether it's lightweight enough to wear in this whatever weather we were having. I think it might have been like a day or two after we came back from Norway. And I couldn't find it. Now, storage situation in this house is a disaster. In our bedroom, we have a built-in cupboard where we store some paperwork, towels, bed linen, and all my handbags. There's like 2 shelves full of handbags. And I've been putting my knitted sweaters in there because I don't like hanging them up because that can make them stretch. But they get muddled up with the towels and bed linen and stuff. And I couldn't find this sweater. Went through all the bed linen. We only keep 2 sets of bed linen for our bed, all the other bed linen somewhere else. And went through all the towels and organized everything. And I ended up clearing out a big plastic box I used to keep handbags in that's now empty. So I put all my hand knitted sweaters in there so they're a bit more protected. But when I was going through the cupboard, I found this and I pulled it out and I thought, oh, that's the sweater I've lost. And then I looked at it. Where is it? Can you see? Hang on, where's it gone? Oh, there. You see that? So let me just... There's a big hole in it. So it's this yarn is quite delicate and it does break quite easily. Like you can snap it quite easily. But obviously knitting adds strength to it. But I guess because it's been in that cupboard and I haven't taken this out for a while, probably wore it in. I know I wore it I think it was last time I was at the knitting hotel. I wore it because I had pictures of me wearing it with over a blue shirt. It was too hot to wear it at the knitting hotel, but I wore it in the car there and on the way back. And that was probably, I don't know whether that was March or April. Might have been end of March. So I haven't worn it for ages. So it's been stuck in this cupboard and been moved around because it was under a lot of other stuff. So I obviously have more of this yarn, and I think it's the same dye lot. May not be, but that's fine. I'm not very good at fixing things like this. I would rather just kind of go, well, the sweater's dead, and bin it and start again. But because there is like a yarn over here, and the sides here are not going to unravel. It's difficult to tell. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think I can fix this. It's on the back to one side. So this is the back, I think. Is it on the back? Yes, it's on the back, but right to one side. So just behind, so probably when I wear it, it'll probably be up around the side, quite low down. So it's not like it's somewhere ultra visible, like here or somewhere. It's sort of down on my hip, really. So I think I'm going to fix that. So my plan is to put this away carefully till next week when I have a bit more time, and then sit down, film it, and try and fix it, and film that as a tutorial. I find tutorials where I make mistakes, or I discover a mistake, or I have to, fix something like this, works really well as a tutorial because it's organic, rather than trying to come up with mistakes or mishaps or whatever and then try and fix it. Doing it like this where I have no idea what I'm doing is a bit more, they're difficult to film because I'm a bit like, so let's try this. No, that doesn't work. Let's try it this way. But it's also a bit more real. And you can see that I also make mistakes. Sometimes I make quite a lot of mistakes. So that's the plan for next week. So you will see a video on this in a few weeks showing how I'm going to fix it. And obviously when you do this, it could be anything that goes wrong with your sweater. But just knowing that you can have a go fixing it. If I don't have a go fixing this, I will just put this in the bin and never wear it again. So I might as well try and fix it, because if I screw it up, it would have gone in the bin anyway. So if I try and fix it and it's successful, then I can wear it. If I try and fix it and it's not successful, well, I've lost nothing apart from an hour or two of working on it. So I'm going to leave it to next week because I haven't got time this week to do it. So I'm going to leave it to next week and then have a go and see if I can fix it. This video is going quite long, so I think we're going to finish there. Hopefully there will be a new pattern next week. Tell me if you'd like me to release this easy lacy scarf or this Love Hearts cushion first, because they're both ready to be released. So tell me which one you'd like first, and then I'll probably do the other one towards the end of end of June. What month are we in? We're in June. I'll release one next week and the other one towards the end of June. I've forgotten, just quickly before we go, don't forget the 4,000 subscriber giveaway. Make sure you leave a comment below to be in with a chance of winning. And if you commented last week, you can still comment this week and next week to be in with chance with 3 times of winning. But it's only on the podcast. It's not on the Tuesday videos, because I haven't mentioned this on the Tuesday videos because I quite often film them ahead. And sometimes even though I film one that I think will go out on Tuesday, if something else happens that I want to release before on Tuesday, I may bump that to the following week, for example. So it's only the podcast Friday videos that count towards the giveaway. But also don't forget my Simply Knitting subscription offer. You can get 6 issues for £16, followed by $34.99 for every 6 issues thereafter. And this offer ends on 5th of July. So you've only got a month, just less than a month, to take advantage of this offer. It's great all-round magazine. I've been reading it since I got back into knitting in my early 30s, I think it was, so over 20 years ago. 6 issues for £16, followed by $34.99 every 6 issues thereafter. Ends on 5th of July, this offer. And for each subscription taken out using my unique link below, I get a small commission, which goes towards supporting this channel and getting me a better camera. So if you're interested in getting Simply Knitting, I hope you'll use my link below. It's in the show notes below. If you can't find it, just leave me a comment and I'll send you the link. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And let me know if there's any tutorials you'd like me to film, because I'm going to film quite a lot in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Because I need to film ahead for July, because I'm away for a bit in July. So let me know if there's any tutorials you'd like to see or topics you'd like me to talk about. That's it for the day. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time.